Hi guys, welcome back to our podcast. I'm your host Bianca.
I'm Vic.
And I'm Ryan.
Today we're talking about marketing scandals.
Big one.
There are
hot
so
topic.
many happening right now.
Yes.
And the first big one is Crumbl Cookie.
So this actually blew my mind.
I haven't heard about this.
Oh
Ryan
my
doesn't
gosh.
know this. We
Oh
spoke
my
about
gosh.
this morning.
That's interesting because I've actually had a bit of a TikTok hiatus lately, right? And then
What does a hiatus mean?
like I've just had some time off
okay,
it, right?
okay.
I've only been just checking every few days, just trying to detox a little bit. Anyway,
that's
long
good.
story short, I was sort of not aware of it completely. I'd
Yeah.
heard rumbles of it. And then when I started looking into it, I was like, oh my
I was like,
goodness.
Vic, have you seen this? And you're like, no, not really. And I'm like, you have to watch
Yeah.
all these TikToks.
Yeah, it was crazy,
Yeah.
right? And I could not believe, firstly, the spine of them.
Oh, okay.
Kudos to them for actually having the spine to do
I just
that.
can't.
But I could not believe that actually happened. So
I'm so out of the
Okay,
loop.
okay.
What
So
is
we'll tell you what
happening?
happened. So do you know Crumbl Cookie? Have you heard of
I'm
Crumbl
guessing,
Cookie?
not really, no.
Okay, so it's so weird that you haven't. Anyway, Crumbl Cookie is like this. It's a business in America and
Yeah.
it's cookies, and they basically kind of taken over the internet.
Pretty big,
with
yeah.
these really big sized.
Yep.
They always have different flavors every week. They have like collabs with like Kylie Jenner and like Olivia Rodrigo and things like that. So they're pretty big in the US, but they're all over TikTok. People do like Crumbl Cookie reviews and they'll do mukbangs or whatever it is and
Yeah.
they'll eat them. Anyway, so everyone in the world is like, oh my God, I just want to try a Crumbl Cookie for myself because it's only in the US. So someone in Australia,
Oh, no.
there's been a few fake accounts going around going, oh, Crumbl Cookie is coming to Australia. Here are the dates. Here are the locations. Like, stay tuned. Anyway, on the weekend, there was a pop-up of Crumbl Cookie.
A legitimate pop-up?
So this is the
no.
thing. Everyone was under the impression that it was legit when
Wow.
realistically the day after it happened, so I think it happened on Sunday. So the Monday, everyone was just like, this is fake. This is a scam. So what happened is that on Sunday, it was in Bondi. They lined up and they paid $17.50 per cookie
50 smackaroos.
for a Crumbl cookie. And then there was a lot of reviews afterwards. People were like reviewing the cookies on TikTok
Yeah.
and saying, oh, these don't taste very good. They're a bit stale. Like, they're not very good.
Well,
And
there's like all branded properly, like
Yes.
so they were in the Crumbl
Right.
Cookie like
packaging.
They use their colors. They use their name. They use
Wow.
So they're just using basically like all of the Crumbl Cookies logos and things
That's
like
crazy.
that.
Pretty much everything. And the kicker is the way they did it was they literally imported, I think it was $6,000 worth.
Yeah, so
of
it was
these
about
cookies.
700 or 800 actual cookies.
that look pretty close.
Well, they were.
They were. So they went
they
to.
were.
So
In
there's
the
a few.
States.
There's a few things. It was either Hawaii or LA. They're like tossing up. Like there's.
Yeah.
No one's confirmed exactly what's happened because
Yeah.
the people who have done it haven't actually come out and
Said
confirmed anything. So they actually posted a TikTok because everyone's going, "This is a scam. You've just been scammed. Like
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
do this. It's illegal." And they came out with all this TikTok where they were, clearing up the rumors and they were showing their documentation, like their
Yeah.
importation fees
This
and like.
fake page, this fake
so
social media page.
It's called
outlaid-
Crumbl Sydney. That's what the page is called.
They outlaid how much they spent. They're like, oh, we're charging this because we spent $4,000
Yeah.
on luggage or whatever, $6,000 for
Right.
this,
On flights,
tariffs or
yeah.
whatever, you know. And they're
Yeah.
like, that's why we're charging. But the truth is, I mean, cookies are a biodegradable product. One,
Yeah.
you got to eat them pretty fresh,
Yeah.
right? And these, like, they've got milk, eggs, whatever. You
Yeah.
know? All right, sugar is
Like-
probably going to hold them for a
Yeah.
bit, but these people, a lot of people,
It
when
would
I
have
was
just been
looking
shoved
into
in
it,
someone's luggage.
yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were reviewing it saying, we actually felt pretty sick afterwards. And we're like, yeah, no kidding. Of course
Right.
you did.
So they took a while.
You just traveled
to,
like 18 hours on a plane
Yeah.
and then went through
So
customs.
How
and,
old would they have been? At least days old.
and they're
you
not
know?
individually wrapped either. They were boxed.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a massive difference.
Yes.
If they're not
Yeah.
sealed.
So there's this whole thing going around, and then they're coming back, they're biting back the Sydney Crumbl page and going, oh, we actually never claimed to actually be the official Crumbl. We were just we're just
Some
you know,
parallel
fans.
law or something
We're
they were saying.
fans
Yeah, yeah.
of Crumbl Sydney.
That's
and everyone's
crazy.
like, you can't claim you're a fan. Like you could do that with anyone. Like
Yeah.
imagine like
They knew what they were doing.
you go to Kmart, buy a bunch of Kmart stuff, and then do a pop-up Kmart store, and then
Pop-up Anchor
hike
store,
up the
yeah.
price, and then go, oh, we're just fans of Kmart. Like that doesn't work
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Using their logos and claiming to be them, having a social media page
Yeah.
with their name and their branding and stuff.
Literally their branding.
It's-
You can get sued for that, right?
Yeah,
In a normal
well,
circumstance.
The thing is that. So since this morning is that they've deleted everything. So they've deleted their social media, like because people are this was on the news. Like, this has gone
Oh, wow.
it's
pretty
crazy. People
huge,
in other countries are talking about this because they're like, because everyone sees the Crumbl cookies online. People in other countries are going, what the hell happened with this Sydney Crumbl scandal? So it's absolutely taken over the internet. And I just think it's wild how these people thought, this is a really smart idea.
Is there any chance this is an inside job?
See, there's a lot of rumors about that as well.
Theories galore, right? And funnily enough, just as like the most recent update, just before we came in here, there was an article that just popped up from the owner or someone high up at Crumbl in the States addressing it.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, they said, look, we're not affiliated with these guys.
Oh,
wow. We didn't realize we need to get down to Australia sooner. So that, because we were talking about.
So maybe they won't sue them.
So I don't know if they'll sue them, but now is it like, I mean, as a marketing tactic, it's great.
Yeah.
But, we've spoken previously about negative marketing, you know? So, I mean, I don't think it was a inside job, but I mean,
it's worked in their favor.
It's worked in their favor, definitely, because now I want
They think that though, people were lining up for hours. That was the thing, right? There was lines out the door for hours, and people. So now in Crumbl are gonna go, oh, these people will line up for hours. I'll pay $17.50 a cookie, and we'll get away with it. So
and look at the difference, right? And get this. So in the States, I think when I had a look, it worked out you'd get 3 cookies for about $21.
I think that's USD.
No, Australian.
Oh, it was Australian?
So when
okay.
I'm pretty sure it was Australian when I worked it out. We can fact check that, but I'm pretty certain because I remember looking, thinking, oh shit.
Yeah. But
these people are paying $17.50 for one.
It was $75 for 5 cookies. That's what they were selling as a bundle.
Out of this world.
$75.
It's almost it reminds me a little bit of the Prime situation when that first came to Australia.
Yes.
When you're like, genuinely, I was going to petrol stations and they had them in the fridge for $20.
Oh my goodness.
$20 for a bottle of Prime, and like they were officially being sold to those petrol stations, but they weren't in Woolies yet and all that.
Wow.
So it kind of reminds me of that, but obviously without the fake.
It's the desperation though of people.
That's right, you know, and
that's what they're saying. They're trying the same way fans, and all we wanted to do was just bring it to Australia for you guys to try, and it's like, oh, that's really illegal, like what you did. So
it will be really interesting to see now that we know that they will come out, what comes out of it in terms of what they're going to slug us.
They're also 1,000 like calories a cookie, so like, come on,
which
man, like
is
that's so
mind-blowing.
bad for you. That's so
that's dinner.
They can't be that good.
I feel
Literally,
that's cookies for dinner.
I feel like cookies are the new trend at the moment.
Definitely.
I love
Like, I feel like you can justify $10 for a really good cookie.
Okay.
Yes.
Butterboy in Manly, $8.90 or something. So worth
especially
it.
if they're warm.
Even Bite.
Yes.
I went to.
Oh, you went to Bite? Yeah, so good.
And
They're
it's not
$7
cheap,
a
you know,
cookie.
and it was absolutely
Insane.
amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good. And I've got a big sweet tooth. So for me, I'm happy to pay for something if it's worth it. And it was a big, luscious, chunky cookie. There was a bit in it. And look, you take in inflation, demand, blah, blah, blah. And it was a sizable cookie, $7, $8, $10. You're going to pay that, I think.
Yeah.
You know, it is slightly overpriced probably, but the demand is there. You're going to pay that, you know.
And you're happy to pay for it if it's good.
It was great.
So all these people who just got scammed over the weekend have just like lost so much money, and it was crap.
Picked up a few stomach bugs along the way, you know. And I saw a few of those TikToks where people were doing their TikTok reviews saying, come with me as we line up.
Yeah.
And I felt so sorry for them. I was like, these poor people.
I literally was in Bondi that day, and it was so funny because I sent it to my friend that night, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize this was on. Like, we should have gone. Like an idiot, like thinking, because I didn't see anything else, and I just saw heaps of people lining up, so I'm assuming it's legit. So that's probably how other people thought it was legit as well. Like, why would so many people be lining up if it's not real?
You know, and even if you're sort of cluey to things, I'd fall for that.
Oh yeah.
If I was like, oh, Crumbl's.
But if I saw $17.50, I would have walked my ass right back because there's no way I'm paying $17.
What if it was legit and it was a good cookie and you've gone all that way?
If it was legit, like it just looked dodge. Like it looked like when I saw a few videos of the setup, it was in like a random shop. It was like, it just looked a bit sus.
Look, to be honest, best case scenario, if I thought it was real and I looked at that and thought, shit, $17.50.
Yeah.
We're sharing between 3 of us.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have done something like that.
But also, if you'd lined up that long,
Yeah.
you especially would have been like, man, I'm not wasting my time.
No,
you hate lining up for things.
I mean, I've got things to do.
Yeah.
You know,
people
to see. I want to be in and out. You know, and the other places you line up, but they've got a good system going. You know, and $8, $9, and the cookies are legit worth it. They're great. You know?
Like the other day, I was at a petrol station. I know petrol stations aren't typically the best value, but I got a gay time, and it was $5.50, man. And I was like, and And it was smaller than they used to be. I was like,
don't even get me started.
Shrinkflation.
Because shrinkflation is emotional for me, on so many levels. And you're right, that it does seem like even ice creams are getting smaller.
The paddle pops.
But I can open this up as a massive can of worms.
Shrinkflation is a massive, big marketing tactic that people don't even realize is actually happening.
And it's definitely
so subtle in some things. Like there's so many examples that we could talk about. One of them, top of my head, is the Toblerone.
Yeah.
How everyone, when you think of a Toblerone, you think of the little triangle pieces that you snap off.
Yeah.
But the way that they've been able to make them less expensive for themselves, but also maybe keep the same price or hike the price up a bit, is that they've just spaced the triangles out further. So there's less triangles and there's more gap.
And who's going to
Wait, I
notice
have a photo. I'll show you the photo and we can put it in the thing.
ridiculous.
It's actually crazy.
Who would notice?
It's
I wouldn't notice.
Like
you
from
can
a
see
consumer,
it as an...
that's a
Wait,
massive
we'll include it in the video.
Gap.
But look at the gap difference.
That's huge.
That can't be all of them. That's got to be like a...
No, it's totally a thing.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
But
that's so subtle. You might, if you didn't see that before photo, you might not actually remember it looking like that.
Well, that's the first I've heard of it, right? I mean, there's the other chocolate scandals. Like we know with Cadbury, I think it was 2018 or 19.
Yeah.
That was huge,
It was
right?
250 grams for a block.
250
What's it
grams.
now?
And
Yeah.
it went down, I think at one stage, I think now it's about 2 or 220.
No, it's 180 now.
Oh, it's back down to 180
It's
because I was going to
180.
say it got down to 180 grams.
What's that? 70 grams difference?
70 grams.
And it's more, it's
gosh.
$6. We looked it up this morning. $6 a block for Cadbury chocolate.
That's like 30-something%. Or something.
It's
or maybe
annoying,
less,
but
that's huge.
The thing about it is it's just so smart because you'd rather have a little bit less every time than pay more. It's just...
But the thing is, people might not even actually ever look at the grams of what they're paying for. They're just seeing the block. It's just in their head that visually they know what it looks like. So why would they wouldn't even notice? Unless obviously like us and, super
fatties.
picky.
Yeah, I'm a fatty. I'll be honest. I'm a certified fatty. And the thing is, right, but because I used to smash those blocks, right? But I'd feel sick because they were huge. They were thick, Now, like, I actually look at them, I'm like, God, is this gotten smaller again? They do look smaller now. And it probably is perception because we know as well that they are getting smaller.
Oh, for sure.
But I'm glad you said the ice cream too, because that's one that I've noticed, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker.
And you can tell when you eat it. It's just not quite enough anymore.
It's not.
I agree. And you're like, maybe I should have another one. You're like, maybe not. But then also think about how expensive gay time, like for a 4-pack, it's like $12 or something.
It's not cheap.
That's insanity.
It's like a premium thing now,
That's
right?
crazy.
And same thing,
It's
like
ice
you have
cream.
to buy more. That's like with Macca's.
Yeah,
right?
I was exactly about to say that.
Oh.
Macca's, if you want to feed a family of 4 now, you're paying like $60.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Because one burger is never enough now.
Look, before your time, I'm a bit of the older head here. Before your time, a Big Mac was a big freaking Mac.
It was a Big Mac.
Like what the Grand Mac is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They just
to be
added that
honest,
in as
I
like
think
a...
They know.
They know.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. To be honest, I think the Grand Mac is still not as big as it used to be.
Really?
It was massive.
Wow.
You'd get this Big Mac and it was a magical feeling, right? Like you honestly, because you'd get the carton boxes, the older boxes, even the paper boxes which we have now, and you'd open it and this thing was falling out.
Wow.
Lettuce was going everywhere.
Wow.
It was messy and it was delightful.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
reckon? I reckon
heavy.
the 10 to 1 patties have gotten even thinner now.
They're so thin.
On the Big Mac, I reckon
like
that's
a
the next thing
sliver.
they've done.
Yeah.
They're so small.
It's not. It literally is like that thick.
That is why the double quarter pounder is the best burger at Macca's.
The double quarter pounder is great, right?
They need to put those quarter
I
pounder
just don't like
patties
the
on the
bun
Big Mac.
on
The buns are small.
on the quarter
But you
pounder.
know what? Like in light of this, I've actually mentally made a note. I don't eat a lot of it. Kids, junk food is bad. All right? It's
Not for the soul,
It
but
needs to be
for
eaten
the
in
gut.
conjunction with a healthy, balanced diet. Anyway, that's the little shout
Disclaimer.
out. But that's a disclaimer. But the next time I have a Big Mac, I've got this mental challenge in myself to try and finish it in 4 bites. And I think I could legitimately.
Vic. That is
That's
so
great.
bad.
I reckon,
I think I could do that
I think
now.
you could.
Honestly, I think I could
Probably.
eat it in probably 4.
Probably.
All right, let's say maybe 5 bites. But it's just not.
It is pretty small.
Yeah.
It's not a big.
And you don't
Mac
even
anymore.
feel like. I feel like
Oh,
before
no
you
way.
used
It's
to be-
one-handed.
It's 2-hand and now it's
It's one-handed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know, like a good old-fashioned takeaway burger is always number 1 in my eyes. But way back when or whenever it was, not that long ago, the the Big Mac, those big burgers from Macca's, the McFeasts, all of them, they were just so satisfying.
Yeah.
And the taste is still there, but it's smart marketing as well, because it makes you want more.
100%.
And how many burgers are you going to buy? You're going to buy a couple because it's just whetting your appetite.
And they've like the price is so much more.
And the prices as well. That's the other end of the spectrum.
This is the thing, right? Like
smaller but more expensive.
I've got the Macca's map, and I like anytime I think about going Macca's, like Macca's app, like sure, you've got me sucked in with the app. You give you the notification every day, but like if there's no deal, like I'm a lot less likely to buy because of how good those savings are.
Yes.
Like some of the savings on there are ridiculous. I don't even know how they're making money on how well priced those deals are. But like when it's not full price and I want to get a Big Mac meal and I'm paying $15,
it's really
$15 for Macca's is insane to me.
What?
Anything over 10, I'm like, nah. For Macca's,
I didn't even realize, to be honest, because of the app. And the savings are pretty good with the app. Let's be real.
And then you use your points and stuff as well.
Yeah. So with that, I legit don't know what the full cost would be at the moment.
Yeah.
And if it's like $15, $16,
I think it's
that
like
is a
14.
I still don't get how the large frozen Coke is $6 if you get it out of promo. I still don't get it.
$6?
$5.95. If you check on the app,
you're taking
the large frozen Coke, but like they always have like the $1 promo. So like if you order it after,
hold on.
I think it's after midnight or something is when.
So you're saying a standard frozen Coke is $6 or something close to that, but then they'll have a promo for $1.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you got the app, it's $1. Like there's always a deal.
It didn't come up for me today though.
Wow. Wait, let me look it up.
I would, you know what? If Macca's, if they would ever release this data, that would be fantastic. I would love to know how many sales they get at $6 compared to $1. Just to see how many.
If you're buying a frozen Coke for $6, take a look at yourself and go, maybe this is not a smart idea.
Yeah, that's next level. But
it's
you know
ice.
what?
It's literally ice.
But I'll tell you something.
Yeah, go.
When a family's going through drive-through and your kids are screaming they want frozen Cokes, what are you going to do?
Well, the thing is, when you put it in the meal, it actually makes the meal more expensive, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. So like if you adjust the drink.
Yeah, like you may as well just buy the chips and the burger and then the $1 frozen Coke promo. Then put the frozen Coke in the meal.
And did you say time-wise that those sales happen later?
No, they don't happen after like midnight or something.
Oh, okay.
So like, after a night out, like and you want your Macca's feed and you go to get your $1 frozen Coke.
You're paying full price, buddy.
And it's 2 a.m. You're paying $6 for a frozen Coke.
Wait, no, they've put the price back down on frozen Cokes. They're all $1 now.
I checked it today.
That's interesting.
Mine says $1.
All right.
Oh, you've got the little promo one.
But maybe that's just on its own because this isn't the actual, like when you're ordering a thing, it's the actual one. But maybe when you're upgrading a drink in an actual meal, that's when you get I think that's so stupid.
That's
if you're getting
that's actually a really good example of what we were just talking about where companies inflate the price of the RRP of something and they never sell it that RRP.
And this is pretty much what they're doing too in a way.
Yeah.
In some sort of way. They've got this app saying, hey, have a deal. We're still killing you with profit, but now you're getting it for sale.
Well, Macca's would be getting things for like the cheapest of the cheap that you could even think of. Like it's crazy. Like you think of wholesale prices, like Macca's is getting it for like the smidgen of that. Like it's crazy.
100%. But I know what you're referring to.
Like there needs to be a law for RRP needs to be at that price for a certain amount of time,
some sort of consistency
before you can discount what the RRP
Well, look at Coles and Woolworths, what they're doing. That's what you reminded me of straight away. They're getting sued, right? Because of exactly what you said. And, and it's so crazy, right? Because I know Wednesdays Coles, for instance, there's a Coles nearby. Wednesdays, they go on sale. A lot of the stuff goes on sale. You'll get a lot of the yellow. They'll get a lot of yellow stickers out. However, this whole thing with them being sued and Woolies as well. So it's not like it's a competitive thing. It's just like we're going to make
it's the two big boys in Australia.
They just want to make a crap load more money at our expense. You know, forget everything we've been through in the last 5 years. That's changed in the world. That's driven prices up. Forget COVID, all of that stuff. Then on top of of all of that, what they've been caught doing is say, there's a product that's say $5.
Yeah.
Right. That's the RRP. They've increased that to say $8. Yeah. So they've jumped them up really crazily.
And saying that's the normal price.
That's the new RRP.
Correct.
And then it goes on sale for $5 or $5.50.
Oh, you're kidding me.
And people,
And they see the yellow tag and psychologically you go, oh, it's a good deal.
And it's like,
you're
oh my God, it's on sale.
$3 or $2.50. Yeah.
I feel so like bad. Also with those yellow tags, they're doing like 20-cent discounts now on like things that are $5. It's like, that's not even a discount, but the yellow tags there. So you're like, oh, it's on sale.
And I saw that last week actually, because there was a bunch of energy drinks that I went to buy. Some of them were half price, and that's great. Like, no worries jumping. God knows what the actual cost price was.
It probably was that cost. So half price should have been half of that half price, if realistically.
You know what is the worst? When I see two products are the same but different sizes, and the smaller size has the sale. But the larger size is still cheaper per kilo.
Yes.
That's you always have to look at the per. My mother has taught me that from such a young age. Look at the price per kilo, because that is where you see the value. Like,
such a telling
or like when you're buying toilet paper, you're looking at the cost per sheet of toilet paper rather than the actual amount you're getting.
And I'm sure it's probably coming. If they see this.
This is why they're getting sued though, because people are like, this is so messed up on so many levels to be able to do that to your customers, and there's no repercussions for that. The thing is as well is that if they do get sued and it's successful and whatever, we're not going to see any of that money.
We're not going to see a damn thing.
We're not going to see nothing.
They'll put some regulations in. I'm sure they'll squill their way into it to the point where they're still making money because the new RRPs just stick.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, okay, no worries, we won't do that anymore. These are the new RRPs, blah, 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 blah. We'll have a time frame. Like you suggested, that's actually a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
There's an extension you can download now for Woolworths. I don't know about Coles. I'm sure it's probably very similar, but there's an extension you can add where you can actually see. I showed you this morning.
Is that on Google Chrome?
Yeah,
on
browser? Google Chrome.
You can see what?
So you can see the prices in the past. I think it was a couple of weeks, maybe. Like it's like split into 7-day increments.
On supermarkets or
so on the Woolies website, so say you're going to do an online shop or whatever, you download this Chrome. I can't believe I'll
is it Honey?
Insert it in. No, it's not.
Because Honey does it for tech products.
Coupon.
I've seen
it. Really?
On Amazon, it's really good. You can see the dips in.
The Woolies one though, it literally shows in the, so you select like your Cadbury chocolate or whatever, shows you 7-day increments of what the prices have been.
Really?
And you can see the pattern of, so say the
it was
Cadbury
the chocolate
one.
That was crazy.
It was $6 RRP, and then literally it went 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3. And so you can see and also create a pattern and predict when you should be buying that product as well.
You could trend that, no doubt.
You could trend that. And you can base your shopping and your groceries around when you would buy that product rather than buying it at full price. Right now, it's on sale for $3. But last week, it was full price at $6.
I don't know how far down the rabbit hole you could probably go with this stuff.
Yeah.
But when I saw that, it was because it was so close together, like $6, $3.30, $6, $3.80, $6. In my mind, I'm like, you know what? They are probably doing that based on their data on what days people shop more.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, all right, $6. And then the days where people aren't shopping as much, $3.30. I don't know. Like I said, we can go down a really crazy rabbit hole with this.
They say that they do that with the Everyday Rewards and the Flybuys app, because I know we mentioned in another podcast, Naj mentioned it, how there is actually data where they will give you, so say that they think that you're going to buy a certain product that you've bought in the past on a certain day, they will give you like a bonus points for that if you buy that on that day or something. Like they've been able to use that data and predict your age and like your, your gender and things like that, your income, to be able to see what deals they give you specifically. So obviously, like if you're putting, yellow stickers on for the whole, that's everybody as a whole. Yeah. But on your app specifically, the deals that you get are always catered to you as an individual.
All those little macro pieces of data, they all add together.
These big companies are so data driven now. There's actually a controversy happening with Uber at the moment. So first of all, Uber, every time I log on, the RRP is always discounted.
Yeah.
And it's always on sale, like 30%.
Like their Uber One?
No. Just normally. Like,
really?
You get notifications all the time, 30% off. Who uses Uber like more than like once or twice a week? Like, so like every
unless
time
you're in the city.
But the thing happening at the moment is the workers, like, they're not getting paid like properly because they're accepting so many jobs and there's so many of them. So Uber is paying them less because they're just so likely to accept it, even though they could get more if they were. It's a whole thing. I don't want to get into it too much in this episode, but Uber is definitely on the hot list at the moment.
Yeah, wow. That's a data podcast
because they've killed Ola, I think was the other one, and there was another one. I think Diddy is still going. and
Actually,
they're trying to
never downloaded any of those. I've always just used Uber.
Yeah. Well, their pricing is pretty competitive now.
But that's a brand thing though as well. That's a brand thing.
It is brand. Their branding is, and their brand awareness is pretty.
Yeah,
it's huge.
they've got the it's in the language, the Australian language.
You just say get an Uber. You don't say get a DD or get an.
It was back in the day, get a cab, get a taxi.
Exactly.
Now it's getting
Now I just like go to the cabs and be like, how much can you? This is what Uber's doing. Can you?
Does that work?
Oh yeah.
Really?
All the time. Yeah. Like, especially after like an event. Like if you're at the say like the Star Casino or something, and there's always cabs out the front. I don't know if you've ever noticed. There's always cabs out the front. You just go up to them, and because I used to live like so far away, I'd be like, hey, Uber's doing this. Like I have cash. Like do it for 50 or whatever. And they're like, yeah, whatever. They usually just say
pretty
yes.
smart.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you got to do it because I feel bad for them to be honest because like the cab industry is dying.
It's dead.
It's not as convenient.
They've got the apps that are like Uber, but their pricing is always a bit more.
Yeah.
But that's like a whole nother. That's a whole nother conversation. But
the marketing scandals like are just insane at the moment, and we think about how sometimes scandals are created for a reason, like it's from the brand. Like there are so many brands these days that create scandals to actually that's their marketing. That's their marketing.
Another one is mobile games.
Oh
man, I don't know what is going on.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
There are so many mobile game ads, and some of the ads look mad. Like you're like, oh, that's actually looks sick.
It looks so much fun. And I'm like, oh, I want to do this.
They've actually made. People have gone to make games off the fake.
Games.
Because they're like, oh.
But how do you not know that it's not another scam to get more of your information?
That's the thing. With this one called Top War, sorry for giving them, credit.
Yeah, I know the one.
But
I get
it's like this guy's shooting barrels and he upgrades his gun.
I've seen that.
That was based off another game, Evany, which had a similar.
Oh yeah.
But that was the fake one?
That was the fake one, but it was the same thing. Like the ad looked better than it was. You go to play the game's not actually the ad.
It's actually completely different.
There's so many of them.
So this one Top War now is like the one going on TikTok all the time. And they're actually conscious of the fact that they know about fake mobile game ads.
They say it in the ad now.
In the ad, they're like, this is not a mobile and fake game. And then you download the app and it's fake. It's still fake.
They're literally getting you.
Yeah.
See?
I've seen that. Even I think it was yesterday, the day before, there was two people talking. They're like, man, look at this game. He goes, no, that's the fake ad. Like they literally, it's like
they said it
making
in the
fun
ad.
of themselves.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But like, how are they able to? That's false advertising. I don't understand. How are they getting away with it? Because false advertising can actually be like, it's illegal, isn't it?
I'll tell you something though. Something I have noticed with these ads, a lot of them will say at the bottom, real game experience may vary or something along those lines. Yeah.
So you're never going to read.
It's very small.
Wow.
It's very small. And you're not going to read it. You're looking at this and like, oh, this looks cool, And the fact that other ones would actually create the game is so smart. Even if it runs for 2 weeks, just the ad revenue you'd make off it. Oh my God. They'd kill it. Make a quick buck and then it'll be done. But
that's crazy.
That's actually come up a lot.
So much. Well, because they're on TikTok, there's always just game ads. And then when you actually download a game, there's so many game ads on the game that you're actually playing. And then so many of them as well, the game actually might be real, but it's such a, like, they've taken such a slim part of the ad and it's always like a Candy Crush alternative. Like it's always the one where you gotta swipe things.
The new ones are like these puzzle games where the person in the ad is doing something so stupid for this puzzle,
and you're like,
right?
oh my God.
It's like such an easy puzzle, like cut the rope here or something.
Yeah.
And then
they
like
do it wrong.
People are frustrated by looking at that, so they download the app so they can complete the puzzle. It's pretty smart.
You watch them fail and you're like, oh my God.
That's crazy.
And it also creates like this, not like ADHD thing, but it's like, you
like
need to do it right.
Like,
no. I can't watch this. It's so stupidly wrong.
Like I need to be able to prove myself I can do it right.
But there was another game where it, like, that's when I first noticed it, I think a few months ago, where in terms of movies, everything, giant monsters, Godzilla stuff, I love that stuff, right? And there was this little game, it was all 8-bit pixely graphics, and it was these little Godzillas, and you're climbing buildings and breaking. I'm like, oh, this is my jam. You know what I mean? I don't remember what it's called. I'm not going to plug it anyway, but because they lied to me. But
now they have my data.
But I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Clicked into it. The game has absolutely zero to do with it. It was literally one of those idle clicking games only. So the monster just stands on the screen doing nothing. And you just upgrade from them. And I was like,
they got you. You fell for it. Even as a marketer, we fall for it.
Mobile games, they fell off, man. Like cut the rope,
Subway Surfer.
Subway Surfer is still on TikTok. People are putting it in the like.
Yeah, as like a watching.
For the double dopamine hit. Like, it's so true.
Split screen.
Did you see Simpsons tapped out that game is. Do you know what that game is?
That does sound familiar.
Yeah,
it was kind of like a Clash of Clans. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, you had like your own. You build your little community of the Simpsons.
Yes.
It's going under. It's done. It's done. Yeah.
But there's so many. There's like Heyday. There's like what's the Warcraft one?
There's the Total War one. There's World of Warcraft.
Yeah, there's all those ones where you build a little village.
There's so much
so many these
Fortnite's
days.
done now.
I feel like Fortnite. No, that's still. Actually,
going?
they had the thing with Apple where because
there was something.
Apple take 30% of all revenue.
Yeah.
From what?
From mobile games on iOS. So they wanted to have their own launcher. So I think they're still in that debate.
Interesting.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Gosh, we're still falling for marketing.
I don't know who the demographic is for mobile games now though, because
It's
I feel
completely
like
changed.
like mums like who play Candy Crush.
Oh my gosh, and they're on like level 10,000 or something.
Yeah,
and you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
I feel like kids. I don't really see people playing them anymore, but they make so much money. So.
like, do you have games on your phone? Like, it's not a
Kids
thing
just
anymore.
watch YouTube these
They
days.
pretty much watch YouTube or
Yeah.
TikTok if they get their way. You know,
If
like
they
a lot
get
of
their
parents
way.
obviously stop them, but yeah, if they swindle their way, it's TikTok or YouTube.
I just remember playing Subway Surfer in high school, on my phone and Cut the Rope and all those ones.
I was Candy Crush.
Were you?
Yeah, back in the
I don't think I
day.
really ever downloaded Candy Crush.
But that one's been around for so long.
so long, yeah.
Because they keep updating it. They keep adding new levels.
Like,
for
how many
mums to
times can you
complete.
not do the same thing on Candy Crush?
Yeah.
I'm sure they've added new things, but how many things are you going to add to a puzzle, a 3-match puzzle game? You
That's
know?
true.
The thing I just remembered with the fake mobile game ads on Twitter, they have them. And remember how I was talking about the community notes?
Yeah.
So did I tell you about do you know about the community notes?
No.
So if there's a post on Twitter and it's just like misleading, I guess, the community can go in and write a note about it.
Oh, okay.
And it's
Basically, going against
and they
it.
can put their sources and whatnot. So like on these actual ads, which it comes up sponsored on Twitter, community notes are under them saying that this is a fake mobile game
that's
ad.
mad though.
So like, and they don't even care. Like they just
don't
leave
care.
it there.
Wait, so can you delete it? Can you delete community notes?
No, it's the community. Like you have to disprove the
That's interesting.
because that's happening at the moment with Logan Paul and KSI with their new brand Lunchly,
yeah. It's like
which is a
Lunchables,
competitor
but-
to Lunchables.
Yeah.
Do you know?
It's
what-
with Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. Well, Mr. Beast had a collab I saw the other day. It's with KSI, and it's literally Lunchables.
I did
but
see something
know what
when people
Lunchables
were...
is?
Yeah, I know what Lunchables is, but I did see something about this. It must have been like, and they were slamming Mr. Beast about it. It might have been this thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So Mr. Beast and KSI are in a bit of controversy at the moment.
Are
with
they?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a
Mr.
hot dog
Beast
thing.
is another fair bit of like. There's a few things.
I think there's
happening
layers to that anyway.
with him.
for yeah.
And like him launching this now, people are saying like, oh, is this like one of those circumstances where any publicity is good publicity because like he's trying to like push through the controversy and maybe he'll be stronger coming out of this, or is it going to negatively affect this product launch and his brand that he's doing this and not addressing all of the stuff that's happening with him?
Yeah.
Gosh, I saw that on the Mr. Beast thing, talk about a marketing thing. I know, I actually really like Mr. Beast. I think that I've watched him for quite a while.
I used to watch his stuff sometime
It
back.
means well.
I think he does. I think he seems like a really nice guy. But like when you talk about marketing, like he has his philanthropy page, and there's a lot of drama where people are reviewing his videos that he does. So he goes to like Africa and builds wells. He goes and builds hospitals.
I've got something on that.
Have you seen it? Is it the AI where
No. What's
there's
that?
people are calling out? There is people doing before and afters, and it looks AI generated, like the stuff that he's
I
done.
read about that.
Okay, wait, I'll show you the video. I'll see if we can insert it in here.
And
There's
that's
a
a pretty
video
bad
where they
scam, if
move
that's true.
like a clip. So they'll do like a 2-second or whatever. And like things will disappear, like the shapes, it looks
Really?
whack. And
Yeah.
I honestly think that he does do really well. But then there was also stuff where people were coming out, like ex-employees were saying that he has to do it for tax reasons and he's doing it because he doesn't want to, if he does get cancelled, he's got that to fall back onto because
Interesting.
he's saying that he's done all this stuff. I really don't want to believe it because I feel like there's so many people in the world who have so much money, so much power, and they're not doing anything, right?
Yeah.
And Mr. Beast is using his platform for a
Yeah.
good thing.
100%.
And even if it is for tax reasons, he's still doing things
Still
that are
helping
good.
though,
Like it's
right?
still helpful.
So the thing that people were talking about on Twitter was, you know how people like Mr. Beast he has ads in the video, but he's doing the ads, so it's not like a YouTube ad or something.
Yeah.
And he has like the bar going at the bottom, and
The
like
timer.
to tell you like how long left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what he did in one of his, it's really smart, but like some people got annoyed, is as the bar got progressively further, it started to slow down.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So like at the start it's going quick,
So you're like,
think
oh,
it's
it'll
going to be a quick ad, so you just watch it.
That is
and then it
actually
gets slower at the
smart.
end.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
He's genius. Like
Yeah.
that's so smart. But and like he's doing all these great things in the videos.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a double-edged sword, right? Like I'm not one to really think about saying, oh, he's an asshole or anything, because he literally legit steps up and he has helped a lot of people.
We don't know him personally.
We don't know him personally. It could be a lot of it could be show him a bit of show punishment, but I don't know. But it does look like he's helped a lot. Whereas a lot of people in his position don't.
Exactly right.
So like when he was going doing these wells and they were hitting him up. I think it was the government of that country or the village, and they're like getting the shits with him.
Really?
And
wait, what? Getting the shits with him?
with him building the wells or something. There was something about it.
He built houses as well. Didn't he?
Like he and then he did something where he showed how many wells they'd built in X amount of time.
Yeah, and then one he did.
Something like that, where he's just sort of shut them up. It's like, well, what are you doing? You aren't doing anything. You're getting upset because I'm actually doing your job. So I mean,
but it's all just, again, and this goes back to marketing, like the scandals, like maybe these scandals are, maybe he's added this into his videos to create a bit of talk and to create more drive for his philanthropy page.
Because then it can go mainstream. That's the thing. Like when you get in the news, when you get in all these news websites and articles, like you're going a bit mainstream.
Absolutely.
People are learning about who you are.
Absolutely.
That's what they go back to, is any publicity good publicity?
Yes,
That's one of our topics we've already spoken
one of our
about.
other topics, right? And it's all related.
Sometimes it is.
It can be.
Sometimes it is.
And in his situation especially, he's been around for some time. He's killed it for a long time.
He's the top of it as a YouTuber.
You get to a point where it's like, how much more can I do? And how else can I stay relevant and keep engaging these people? Because you're going to run out of steam, right?
Eventually,
And if anything, that's really, really smart, from his end.
We'll see if he has a response, and we'll see what happens, because I'm sure it's starting to really blow up. There's other YouTubers going against him. That's why I thought it was really interesting, because other YouTubers are calling him out. So that's why I'm like, but also it could be them trying to stay relevant too. So who knows?
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was like, they're trying to get in on the publicity thing, right?
Thanks so much, guys, for joining us in this podcast episode. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.